Natural yellow is available for painting wonderful and perfect buildings. It's the perfect colour for a sandy beach. It's also nice at the bottom of the sky to give distance. Natural grey has been created over the past 20 years of me painting in watercolours. It's a colour that's mixed from 3 primary colours, red, yellow and blue, to make the perfect neutral shadow colour. It's perfect for skies, overlays of shadows on buildings. In fact, it's probably the most common colour in watercolour painting. For the first time ever, natural blue is available as a colour for painting perfect and spot on blue skies. It's pretty much impossible to mix that perfect blue for the sky. So let's have a go at painting a sky and mountain landscape using the Matthew Palmer Natural Colour Set. I'm just using a SIA Gold size 14 brush, and I'm just going to wet the paper, bring it down very simply. Just wet your paper all the way through, down to the bottom. The paper I'm working on is a cotton paper. It's a £140 block. It's actually a really nice watercolour paper called Fontaine. And it's a knot surface, which is a medium surface. So that's the water on there, no problems, and I'll put some paint on. First of all, what I'll do is I'll use the natural yellow, which is the perfect colour for the bottom half of an evening sky. I'll do a diagonal line, almost corner to corner, and then work it down. Keep going until it pretty much runs out of colour as it goes towards the bottom. So we'll take that down. And you can see I'm working quite swiftly on this. Clean my brush, and then using the natural blue, which is the perfect sky blue colour. I've always thought for many years it'd be lovely to get a perfect sky blue. I believe this is the one. We'll bring it down towards the yellow. Now when the colours mix, they don't actually go green, they go more grey, and that's perfect for this because I can weave these in and put some grey shadows to the bottom of some clouds to be. So just a couple of diagonal lines coming down there. Using a little bit of tissue, kitchen paper's best, I'll start to do some dabbing and paint some basic clouds. So I've got the blob there, and I want to twist without taking it off the paper. Reason being is it's dragging the paint with it. Just keep moulding a new piece of tissue as you work through. Twisting away. Make it smaller as it comes across to this side, or to the opposite side that you're working on. And of course I'll do the same at the bottom as well. And working like this means as long as your paper is still damp or shiny, I can just keep getting that little blob of tissue, looking back for a moment on the picture and thinking, well actually it looks a bit bland there, I'll stick a cloud there. Really just practice. It's a simple sky technique, and the colours are so natural for this, hence the name I guess. But we'll just work through, and now it's almost dry, just very lightly tapping, and it's a nice summery sky. Little bit of cloud formation towards the bottom there, and I think we are almost finished. So we'll leave that to dry. Ouch. So now that's dried off, folks, you can see it's a very bright and colourful sky. Lovely, gorgeous blue. I absolutely love that colour. Natural blue is a fantastic natural sky blue, and it works smashing in any watercolour painting. Of course, it's not just the sky blue, because a blue is a primary colour, which means you need to use it in the whole palette. Mix it with yellow to get a lovely summer green. Mix it with reds to go dark shadows for the snow scenes. On this picture, it'd be nice if we brought in some nice sort of misty mountains at the bottom and get darker as we get closer to the foreground. Give us some distance. And the reason this colour is so important, because this is the shadow colour, and any artist will tell you that the shadow colour is probably the most important colour. There's not many greys out there. Famous one, of course, is Payne's grey, and if I say it's called Payne's grey for a reason, it's a pain in the tube. The colour is too strong. Payne's grey as a colour is just too dark, too black, it ruins your paintings. That's gone across the bottom, watered down, not too wet. And again, nice and dry on that one, please. So that's nice and dry, using a slightly darker version of the grey, natural grey, so it's just a stronger mix, less water. I'm going to use the same system and put some other mountains, maybe darken one, maybe darken this one that I've painted over this side, coming down, so we can do that quite easily. Just by whizzing over it again if you want to change the shape a little bit. As long as your colour's strong enough, it should let you do that. And bring it down. Just bring it down towards the bottom there. Leaving that one as it is to give you the distance, and start to fill it in. But as I do start to fill it in, what I'll do is bring in, without cleaning the brush, some of the natural yellow and mix it with it. If I wipe it over a bit of tissue, I can bring that through and get the colours working together. And hopefully you're starting to see that sense of distance to the mountains. And I'll just sort of phase it away with a bit of dry brush, just using the paint what's on the brush and just taking it across, side to side brush stroke, ease it away. Now while that's a little bit damp, if I clean my brush and squeeze out all the water, I can use that almost like a flat brush in some ways, and use the sharp edge and just drag it over the top. Clean it and squeeze it, drag it down, and take out all of the highlights of these hills there, and of course that goes in really quite easy. Every time you clean it and squeeze it, it turns your brush into a sponge, and it sponges away the paint. And as you can see, it gives one or two shadows and shapes to the hills there. Makes a huge difference. And then maybe, just to finish off, maybe a little croft, a little cottage. This is just using a smaller brush, that's all. Little cottage down there. Lonely little cottage, maybe a side building as well. Again, use some of the natural yellow in there, just to give it that little bit of extra detail as regards to colour. Couple of chimneys there, maybe even a few little sort of squiggly bits for some shrubs and bushes at the side there. And as this starts to dry off, you can even use it as a little bit of a dry brush and just sort of whiz it through. Following the contour of the hills. And of course it starts to give that little bit of extra texture and detail. using the natural grey, adding a few birds. But can you see how the mountain at the back has gone right into the distance? It's given a wonderful sense of distance, and that is using the right grey, a natural grey. And a couple of interesting things to do to finish off, using the same smaller brush that you painted the house with. I'll put some highlights on, literally by taking off the colour. And another nice feature about the natural grey is it does actually come off quite easy, whether it be cotton or wood-based papers. That's giving a little bit of detail there. I would probably just bring a highlight down that side of the house. Again, just touch it with a bit of tissue and then just sort of spend a few minutes working in there. Put the impression of a couple of windows. Even highlight one side of the chimney. Back to the grey again, a thicker, stronger mixture, and add in some little detail parts to the picture, to the house. Of course, at this distance you don't want to see every brush stroke, every tile on the roof. So there you go. Keep the building nice and simple at that distance because it's quite far away. But look at the scene, it's given a lovely atmosphere, the blue, the bright blue shining through, the clouds coming down, the yellow at the bottom has given the distance to the sky. And of course the two shades of grey, lighter, more water, darker, less water, has given this lovely distance to the picture. So a cracking example of using the three colours, that's the Matthew Palmer Natural Colour Set. Have a go and don't be afraid to get started.